I've been doing some leadership work with a local church, and we had an opportunity to put our leadership discussions into practice. The situation was that church leadership wanted to move a certain bookcase that was being used by the church librarian from one side of the lobby to the other side of the lobby. Easy enough, right? Well, they approached the church librarian and said, "Hey, we'd like to move this bookcase. Is that all right with you?" And the church librarian said, "Well, no, I would like to leave it right there. That's where it's been for a long time. That's where I put my books out, and that's where people see them, so I'd like to leave it there." And the leadership of the church kind of didn't know what to do. They, nobody ever told us no before. And so they came to me and they said, "How do we handle this situation?" And I said, "Well, did you share the vision with her?" And they said, "Well, no." And I said, "That's the problem. You didn't share the vision with her, and she doesn't understand what's going on. So let me do this, and I'll show you how we share the vision with our people." So I went to Sue, we'll call her Sue, and I said, "Sue, can I show you something real quick?" And she's like, "Yeah, sure." So I brought her over to the lobby area, and I said, "I want to show you what the vision is for this space. All right? Where we have this current table, we would like to put some mission things that are related to our mission partners. And then on this side of the lobby, we'd like to put how you get involved at church and places where you can sign up to get involved. And over here, where your bookcase is, we'd like to put a table for the youth group, so the youth group has an information table. And then all of this is going to flow much better with other parts of the church that have kind of been rehabbed and rejuvenated a little bit." And she goes, "Oh, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. So it would make sense for me to move my bookcase over by the library door, right?" And I said, "That sounds fantastic. Yeah, absolutely." And she's like, "Oh yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah, let's do that." So I went back to the pastor and I said, "Yep, all set. We're good to move the bookcase." And he goes, "Well, what did you do?" And I said, "I shared the vision with her." And that's the key. People just want to be involved, and when they're involved and they understand the end game, the end result, the vision that you are trying to accomplish, they are so much more likely not only to get on board, but help out where needed. And that's exactly what Sue did in this scenario. She didn't understand the vision, so she was a little resistant. But once the vision was explained to her and she saw, "Oh, now I understand. Oh, and that's how I can contribute," she was on it right away. And she jumped in and made a suggestion that we wanted to make in the first place, but she made it. She came to that conclusion on her own, which was perfect. That's exactly what we wanted to have happen. So, happy ending to that scenario and that result. So always share the vision with your people. We have another term for it. Put the cookies on the bottom shelf so it's easy for people to understand. If people understand what your end goal is, what your end result is, they are so much more likely to jump on board and help you out with that goal. But oftentimes, leadership sometimes sits in their ivory towers and they just cast upon the little people their decisions. Well, and then you don't have anybody working with you. Then you're working against your people. And you want your people working with you. It's so much easier because many hands make light work. So, my advice, always share the vision with people.